Welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on videos like this. An unforgettable moment in the sky. Even owner and the fearless Gladys Roy amazed spectators by playing tennis on the wings of an airplane. Dressed in traditional outfits, they managed to maintain their balance with grace and skill despite the challenging wind. This spectacular performance etched itself into the memories of all who witnessed it. In the 1950s, to tackle New York's chaotic traffic, the police began using small pedestrian cars running on narrow tracks. These vehicles allowed officers to quickly navigate through traffic and reach hard-to-access spots. One photo captures a moment when an officer, standing in the middle of traffic, signals a driver to stop. This creative solution proved to be a significant advantage in maintaining order amidst the chaos. In a prison cell in Rome, Pope John Paul II came face-to-face with Mehmet Ali Asa, who had attempted to assassinate him. In 1981, Asa had shot the Pope in St. Peter's Square, severely wounding him. However, the surviving Pope chose mercy over revenge and forgave him. This meeting became one of the most striking examples of the power of forgiveness. In the 1920s New York, as a solution to space issues, cars were stacked vertically using elevators. This system, installed in parking buildings, was a creative solution designed to ease the city's congestion. Although rarely seen today, it was considered a significant advancement in space utilization in crowded cities of that era. In 1944, the US government prepared illustrations showing methods for disguising Adolf Hitler in case he tried to escape. As the war neared its end, Hitler was one of the Allies' top targets, and these illustrations highlighted the meticulous efforts to capture him. In a 1935 photo, automotive genius Ferdinand Porsche is seen presenting the famous Beetle model to Adolf Hitler. Porsche, known for his sports cars, was also the designer of the Beetle, created at Hitler's request for an affordable and reliable vehicle for the German people. This model went on to become an iconic symbol that revolutionized the automotive world and touched the lives of millions. General George S. Patton's loyal dog, Willie, was seen mourning on the day of his owner's death. The bull terrier, Willie, had been by Patton's side through battlefield inspections and every moment in between. The general believed that his dog brought him luck and peace. Despite the harsh realities of war, their bond was strong and deep. In 1920, just 8 years old, chess prodigy Samuel Reshevsky shone like a star in New York. Despite his young age, he dazzled everyone with a simultaneous exhibition match against 20 opponents. The result? Reshevsky etched his name into the chess world with 19 victories and just one draw. His brilliance and composure that day were a sign of the great achievements he would go on to accomplish. In 1934, an armored vehicle belonging to the far-right militia Heim stood out on the streets of Austria. Amid the country's political and social turmoil, Heim was tasked with maintaining order and suppressing opposition. This armored vehicle was a powerful symbol of the era's chaos and Heim's ideological struggle. In 1981, Pablo Escobar and his son posed for a photo in front of the White House. As the leader of the Medellin cartel, he controlled 80% of the global cocaine market and was sending 15 tons of drugs to the US every day. His weekly revenue reached $420 million. This photo revealed the international power of Escobar's drug empire. In 1933 in Berlin, a circus performer was showcasing his act in an aquarium filled with crocodiles. At that time, European circuses were offering dangerous and exotic attractions to amaze their audiences. This performance reflected the bold and striking face of the circus world. Albert Einstein's office on April 18, 1955, the day of his death at Princeton University, looked exactly as he left it. This modest space was where Einstein spent his final years trying to unify the laws of physics. Even on the day of his death, traces of his unending scientific passion were evident on the chalkboard and in the open books. In 1918, the first food truck made from a Ford Model T was built using wooden planks. It served sandwiches, fruit, and hot drinks to workers and passers-by in Washington, D.C. This simple vehicle marked the first step towards the fast food culture we know today. In 1957, renowned director Alfred Hitchcock visited MGM Studios in Culver City, California, where he met Leo the Lion, one of the symbols of cinema. Although Hitchcock wasn't involved in an official project at the studio, the visit was filled with discussions of potential collaborations. Unfortunately, many ideas remained unrealized. This meeting became a rare but memorable moment between two giants of the film world. After World War II, Nazi soldiers were shown footage of the concentration camps. The Allied forces took German soldiers to cinemas and camps to ensure that regime members saw the horrors with their own eyes. In 1941, a telepath was attempting to hypnotize a chimpanzee. At that time, hypnosis and mystical abilities were highly popular. Performers were pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge and challenging people's perceptions. In 1967, American pilot John McCain was captured by Vietnamese forces at Truc Bac Lake in Hanoi. During the war, his plane crashed into the lake and he was severely injured. McCain was held captive under harsh conditions for 5 years. This dramatic moment symbolizes both the brutal face of war and McCain's resilience. In 1966, Apollo 1 astronauts were carefully preparing for a water landing training. However, this hopeful training period was approaching a tragic end. As the astronauts were making their final preparations for space travel, a horrific fire disrupted all their plans and ended their lives in a devastating manner. This photo remains in memory as a symbol of both an exploration journey and a tragic loss. Commander Richard Byrd is preparing for the historic flight to the North Pole in 1926, wearing a leather helmet and mask. Byrd and pilot Floyd Bennett claimed they were the first to traverse this region by air on this bold exploratory journey. The flight, which covered 1,360 miles and lasted just over 15 hours, was recorded as a significant achievement for the technology of that time. In 1882, inventor Old Reeve introduced a three-wheeled alternative to unstable bicycles. This innovative design made bicycle riding more stable and secure. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated with more interesting footage and stories. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content.